Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Rupinder Kaur Chawla with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India's achievements are beneficial not only for the country but also for the entire humanity. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav commemorating 75th anniversary of India's independence, inaugurated by Prime Minister from Sabarmati Ashram in Gujarat. Several events held across the country to mark the occasion. In Tamil Nadu, DMK releases list of 173 candidates for the upcoming assembly elections, MK Stalin to contest from Kolattur constituency in Chennai. Process of filing nominations for third phase of assembly elections begin in West Bengal and Assam. Filing of nominations for single phase elections begin in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Prime Ministers of India, Japan, Australia and President of United States to participate in the first Quad Leaders Summit virtually this evening. The first meeting of the BRICS Contact Group on Economic and Trade Issues CGETI held under India's chairship. Mithali Raj becomes first Indian woman cricketer to score 10,000 runs in international cricket. And India to take on England in the first of the 5-match 2020 international series at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad today. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps: wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India's achievements are beneficial not only for India but also for the entire mankind, and they create new hope for the human race. The Prime Minister was addressing a special gathering at Sabarmati Gandhi Ashram after launching Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which marks the beginning of celebrations of the 75th anniversary of India's independence. He also flagged off the reenactment of the historic Dandi March from Sabarmati Ashram, Ahmedabad in Gujarat.
भारत की उपलब्धियां आज सिर्फ हमारी अपनी नहीं है, बल्कि ये पूरी दुनिया को रोशनी दिखाने वाली, पूरी मानवता को उम्मीद जगाने वाली है। भारत की आत्मनिर्भरता से ओतप्रोत हमारी विकास यात्रा पूरी दुनिया की विकास यात्रा को गति देने वाली है। कोरोना काल में ये हमारे सामने प्रत्यक्ष सिद्ध भी हो रहा है। मानवता को महामारी के संकट से बाहर निकालने में, वैक्सीन निर्माण में भारत की आत्मनिर्भरता का आज पूरी दुनिया को लाभ मिल रहा है।
The Prime Minister said with the ideas at 75, achievements at 75, actions at 75 and resolves will give us the inspiration to march forward by fulfilling the dreams of independent India. He said that salt is the symbol of Atmanirbharta. Apart from our values and self-respect, the Britishers had also attacked our salt. Mahatma Gandhi understood the pain of the public and launched the salt satyagraha, which took our freedom struggle to the people. He said that development of Atmanirbhar Bharat will also boost the development of the world. He said that India is self-reliant in developing and manufacturing COVID-19 vaccines. The Prime Minister said that India is also helping other nations of the world in their fight against COVID-19. Prime Minister Modi said that people's participation will be the key in the nationwide celebrations of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
आज हमारे स्वाधीनता संग्राम के कितने ही पुण्य तीर्थ, कितने ही पवित्र केंद्र साबरमती आश्रम से जुड़े रहे। स्वाधीनता संग्राम की पराकाष्ठा को प्रणाम करने वाली अंडमान की सेल्यूलर जेल, अरुणाचल प्रदेश से एंग्लो इंडियन वॉर की गवाह केकर मॉर्निंग की भूमि, मुंबई का अगस्त क्रांति मैदान, पंजाब का जलियांवाला बाग, उत्तर प्रदेश का मेरठ, काकोरी और झांसी, देश भर में ऐसे कितने ही स्थान पर आज एक साथ इस अमृत महोत्सव का श्री गणेश हो रहा है।
He appealed to people to come forward with new ideas and contribute in Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. He said through this event everybody is witnessing history.
ये हम सभी का सौभाग्य है कि हम आजाद भारत के इस ऐतिहासिक कालखंड के साक्षी बन रहे हैं। आज दांडी यात्रा की वर्षगांठ पर हम बापू की इस कर्मस्थली पर इतिहास बनते भी देख रहे हैं और इतिहास का हिस्सा भी बन रहे हैं.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav means Atmanirbharta Ka Amrit, and it is very fortunate that the Amrit Mahotsav of India is beginning on the anniversary of the historic Dandi March. The Prime Minister said the next generation should be made aware of the rich history of the country.
इतिहास साक्षी है कि किसी राष्ट्र का गौरव तभी जागृत रहता है जब वो अपने स्वाभिमान और बलिदान की परंपराओं को अगली पीढ़ी को भी सिखाता है, संस्कारित करता है, उन्हें इसके लिए निरंतर प्रेरित करता है. किसी राष्ट्र का भविष्य तभी उज्जवल होता है जब वो अपने अतीत के अनुभवों और विरासत के गर्व से पल पल जुड़ा रहता है.
Mr. Modi also launched a special website for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in connection with the celebration of 75 years of Indian independence. People, and particularly the young generation, can share their videos and images on Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on this website. Prime Minister Modi also launched Atmanirbhar Incubator to boost the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Speaking on the occasion, Union Minister of State for Culture and Tourism, Independent Charge, Prahlad Singh Patel, said that Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav will be a people's movement which will be run by the people of India. He thanked the Prime Minister for taking India on the path of Atmanirbhar Bharat. He said that a charkha has been installed near Magan Nivas at Sabarmati Ashram. It will rotate full circle with each tweet related to Atmanirbhar Bharat. He also appeals to people to buy any local product and post a picture on social media using hashtag Vocal for Local. Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani said the historic Dandi March of Mahatma Gandhi in 1930 had boosted the freedom struggle across the country against the British rule. He said that Sardar Patel was the man who united all the princely states and regions of India after independence.
State and union territories governments are also organizing programs all over the country today. In addition to these programs, the Archaeological Survey of India and zonal cultural centers under the Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Youth Affairs and TriFed have planned various activities to mark the occasion. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today called for concerted efforts to eradicate poverty, illiteracy, corruption and other social evils like gender discrimination as part of building an economically stronger India. In a Facebook post on the occasion of the launch of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Vice President said that this was a defining moment in our national journey and an opportunity to recollect the legacy bequeathed to us by the Mahatma and the countless freedom fighters. Referring to the Padyatra, which commenced today from Sabarmati to Dandi over 25 days, Vice President said that it is befitting celebration of India's hard-earned independence and marks a unique way of mapping the nation's eventful journey since the independence. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is being organized in 3 places in Karnataka. Governor Vaju Bhaiwala and Chief Minister B.S. Yedurappa offered homage at the memorial erected in remembrance of the freedom fighters who laid down their life in Vidurashvatha in Chikkabalapur district during the freedom struggle. Vidurashvatha is known as Jallianwala Bagh of Karnataka, where in 1938 police opened fire on the unsuspecting crowd that had gathered in an open ground near the Aswastha tree, thereby killing 32 persons and injuring many. To mark the day, cycle jatha, exhibition and processions were organized.
Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan inaugurated the state-level Amrit Mahotsav campaign at Shaurya Smarak, Bhopal. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, while inaugurating the state-level campaign, said that we will leave no stone unturned to fulfill Prime Minister's resolve for self-reliant India. He said that there is need to adopt the ideals for which the freedom fighters sacrificed themselves. Chief Minister paid floral tributes at the Bharat Mata statue site in the Shaurya Smarak and also inaugurated the photo exhibition of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Media Unit, Regional Outreach Bureau. Amrit Mahotsav of Independence is being organized at all 52 districts headquarters of the state in including the sites associated with the Jan-Nayaks and freedom movement, including Alirajpur district, the birthplace of Chandrasekhar Azad, Orchha Niwadi district associated with Tatya Tope, Jabalpur with Rani Durgavati, and many more. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
The Governor of Rajasthan, Kalraj Mishra, inaugurated the exhibition on Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav at Jawahar Kala Kendra in Jaipur today. The 5-day-long exhibition has been organized by the Regional Outreach Bureau, Jaipur. After the inauguration of the exhibition, Mr. Mishra said the story of the freedom struggle is an inspiration to every citizen.
दांडी मार्च के माध्यम से स्वदेशी को हम कितना आगे बढ़ाएं, स्वदेशी को किस ढंग से हम जीवन के अंदर आत्मसात कर सकें, स्वदेशी को मान्यता देते हैं कुटीर उद्योग धंधों को कैसे विकसित किया जाए, इसको दर्शाने का प्रयास किया गया है.
In Tamil Nadu, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav was celebrated with much fervour. Cycle rallies, tree plantation and cultural performances were held. Tamil Nadu Governor Banwari Lal Purohit inaugurated the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in Chennai. He also inaugurated the photo exhibition of the freedom struggle and Dandi March. Speaking at the function, he said that Dandi March played an important role in the freedom struggle. He recalled that many freedom fighters from Tamil Nadu had participated in it. 10 freedom fighters were honoured by the governor.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India's achievements are beneficial not only for the country but also for the entire humanity. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav commemorating 75th anniversary of India's independence inaugurated by Prime Minister from Sabarmati Ashram in Gujarat. Several events held across the country to mark the occasion. In Tamil Nadu, DMK releases list of 173 candidates for the upcoming assembly elections. MK's talent to contest from Kolathur constituency in Chennai. Process of filing nominations for third phase of assembly elections begin in West Bengal and Assam. Filing of nominations for single phase elections begin in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Prime Ministers of India, Japan, Australia and President of United States to participate in the first Quad Leaders Summit virtually this evening. The first meeting of the BRICS Contact Group on Economic and Trade Issues, CGETI, held under India's chairship. Mithali Raj becomes first Indian woman cricketer to score 10,000 runs in international cricket. And India to take on England in the first of the 5-match 2020 international series at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News, continuing with the celebrations of Amrit Mahotsav in the states. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha today paid rich tributes to Brigadier Rajinder Singh Jamwal on the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav at Rajinder Singh Pura in Samba district of Jammu division. At the outset, S.D. Sinha paid thorough tributes to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, first Home Minister of Independent India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, great freedom fighter Subhash Chandra Bose, and Brigadier Rajinder Singh Jamwal, who is known as the saviour of Kashmir. On the occasion, the Lieutenant Governor also flagged off a bike rally and Amrit Rath from the said venue. The process of filing of nominations has begun today with the issuance of notification for the third phase of assembly elections in the states of Assam and West Bengal and the single-phase elections in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Union Territory of Puducherry. In Assam and West Bengal, it is also the last date for withdrawal of candidature for the first phase of assembly elections, while the filing of nominations closes for the second phase today. In Assam, 47 assembly constituencies will go to polls on the 27th of this month during the first phase, while polling will be held in 30 assembly constituencies of West Bengal in this phase. The second phase of polling in Assam and West Bengal will be conducted on the 1st of April in 39 assembly constituencies of Assam and 30 assembly constituencies of West Bengal. Third phase polling in these two states will be held on the 6th of April, when 40 assembly constituencies of Assam and 31 assembly constituencies of West Bengal will go to polls. The single-phase polling in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, along with the Union Territory of Puducherry, will also be held on the 6th of April. All the 234 assembly constituencies in Tamil Nadu, 140 assembly constituencies of Kerala, and along with the 30 assembly constituencies in Puducherry will go to polls together.
In Tamil Nadu, filing of nomination for the 234 assembly constituencies began today. March 19th is the last date for the filing of nomination, and scrutiny will take place on the 20th of March. The last date for the withdrawal of candidature is 22nd March. DMK leader M.K. Stalin released the names of 173 candidates of his party. M.K. Stalin is contesting from Kolattur constituency in Chennai. BJP is also expected to release the names of the candidates today. Former Union Minister Pon Radhakrishnan and State BJP leader L. Murugan have rushed to Delhi for the purpose. The ruling AIA-DMK Joint Coordinator and the Chief Minister Edapadi Palanisamy is all set to begin his election campaign from Salem. AIA-DMK Coordinator and Deputy Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam is expected to file his nomination from Bodhi Nayakanur, Theni district. MNMK leader actor Kamal Hassan will contest elections from Coimbatore South, where Congress is pitched against BJP. More from a Chennai correspondent.
DMK leader M.K. Stalin visited his father and the DMK patriarch Karunanidhi's memorial before he released the names of the candidate of his party. DMK is contesting in 173 seats. Mr. Stalin is seeking election for the third time from Kolattur constituency in Chennai. His son Udayanithi Stalin is making his debut for the first time in assembly election. He is fielded in Chepauk constituency in Chennai. His opponent will be from the Patali Makkal Katchi. With Joy R. Murthy, AR News, Chennai.
In the Union Territory of Puducherry, filing of nomination papers began today for the single-phase assembly elections, which will be held on April the 6th. The results will be declared on 2nd of May. More from a Puducherry correspondent.
The last date of a nomination is March 19th. The scrutiny of a nomination will take place on March 20th. Last date for withdrawal of a candidature is 22nd March. Polling will be held on April 6th and the results will be declared on 2nd May. The entire process will have to be completed by 4th May. Puducherry is a union territory which has a 33 seats legislative assembly. Out of these 33 seats, 3 seats are nominated. 16 members majority requires to form the government. Congress is fighting the election in alliance with the DMK and also has some other parties. The Congress will contest in 15 seats from the total 30 seats Puducherry Legislative Assembly. DMK will contest in 13 seats and alliance partners CPI and Vidudalai Chirthaiyal Katchi share each one. Meanwhile, the BJP is in alliance with All India NR Congress and AIADMK. The NR Congress will contest from 16 seats while the BJP and AIADMK will contest the remaining 14 seats. Actor turned politician Kamal Hassan's Makkal Needhi Mayyam, the Tamil Nationalist Party, Nam Tamilar Katchi, actor Vijay Gant's DMDK are also in the fray. Puducherry was under French regime till 1954, so the French influence is still intact. The UT is shared the boundaries of Andhra in Yanam region, Kerala in Mahe and Tamil Nadu in Karaikal region. Chandramohan, AR News, Puducherry.
In Kerala, seat-sharing discussions for the upcoming assembly polls have entered the final phase as nomination filing process began today, with CPIM-led LDF already fielding their candidates in most of the 140 constituencies. Congress-led UDF and BJP-led NDA is busy with last round of talks regarding their candidate list. It's expected that the High Command of Congress will release their candidates list by this evening. RSP and ally of UDF have already declared their candidates. NDA may declare their candidates by tomorrow. LDF has started the election conventions in constituencies where candidates are declared.
In Assam, notification for the third and final phase of polls has been issued today. 40 seats will be covered in this phase in 12 districts. Over 70 lakh voters could exercise their voting rights in this phase. The BJP has already announced the names of State Party President Ranjit Kumar Das as candidate at Patashar Kuchi and the party's heavyweight Himant Biswa Sarma as a candidate for Jalukbari constituency. Today is the last day for filing of nomination in the second phase, where polling will be held on the 1st of April in 39 seats. On the other hand, today is also the last day for withdrawal of nomination papers for the first phase of polls. 284 nominations were found valid in the first phase. Yesterday, one independent candidate withdrew their nomination paper. In West Bengal, BJP candidate Shubhendu Adhikari has filed his nomination from Nondigram constituency today. He submitted papers at the sub-divisional office at Haldia. Sanyukt Morcha-backed CPI-M candidate Meenakshi Mukherjee has also submitted her nomination papers this morning. It may be noted that Chief Minister of West Bengal and Trinamool Congress leader Mamata Banerjee is contesting from Nondigram seat. She had filed her nomination last Wednesday. Polling will be held for this seat along with 29 other constituencies in the second phase on the 1st of April. Today is the last date for filing of nominations for the second phase and withdrawal of candidature for the first phase. Notification for the third phase has been issued today. Chief Minister Banerjee, who is undergoing treatment at the SSKM hospital in Kolkata after being injured in Nondigram, is responding well to the treatment. The 6-member medical board has examined her condition this morning. Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, T.B.N. Radhakrishnan, paid a visit to the Chief Minister today. A 6-member parliamentary delegation of the Trinamool Congress today met Election Commission officials in Delhi over concerns following the alleged attack on TMC Supremo and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. The delegation comprised Derek O'Brien, Saugato Roy, Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar, Shatabdi Roy, Pratima Mondal and Shantanu Sen. A BJP delegation comprising Union Minister Piyush Goyal and other party leaders including Bhupendra Yadav will meet Election Commission in New Delhi this evening. Earlier, some TMC MPs had met the Commission on the issue of the Nondigram incident in which West Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee suffered injuries. In Uttarakhand, Chief Minister Tirath Singh Rawat will expand his cabinet today. Our correspondent reports that about 11 ministers will take oath in Raj Bhavan, Dehradun this evening.
Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal, who also holds the finance portfolio, today presented budget estimates of 1,55,645 crore rupees for financial year 2021-22 in the House of Haryana Assembly, which is 13% higher than revised budget estimates. Our correspondent reports out of the total budget of 1,55,645 crore rupees, 25% are for capital expenditure, while 75% have been kept for revenue expenditure. The Supreme Court today said election commissioners in any state must be independent persons and not appointed by the state government. The Apex Court was hearing a case involving civic body elections in Goa. It also rebuked the Goa government for appointing its law secretary as state election commissioner to oversee municipal council polls, which were to be held in February last year. Justice Rohinton Fali Nariman, who led the 3-judge bench hearing the case, observed that the independence of Election Commission cannot be compromised in a democracy. In Maharashtra, in view of the alarming spike in COVID-19 cases, the state government is taking essential measures to curb the spread of coronavirus. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has said strict lockdown measures will be enforced in some parts of the state to contain the spread of COVID-19. Night curfew between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m. has been declared in few cities of the state where a high number of COVID cases have been detected. Local authorities are reviewing the situation on day-to-day basis and the vaccination process is being speeded up. The Chief Minister has appealed to citizens to follow COVID-19 protocols by maintaining social distancing and wearing a face mask. Out of top 10 cities of Maharashtra, Pune with 18,474 cases tops the list of maximum number of COVID-19 cases, followed by Nagpur with 12,724 cases, Thane with 10,460 cases, and Mumbai with 9,973 cases. The other districts of Maharashtra in the list are Amravati, Jalgaon, Nashik, and Aurangabad.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has informed that the revised date for Maharashtra Public Service Commission's preliminary examination will be official today. He said the exam will be taken within a week. More than 2,61,64,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered to beneficiaries in the country so far. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has informed today that a total of 480,740 doses of vaccines have been administered to beneficiaries in the last 24 hours. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate declined to 96.85%, with a total recovery of more than 15,000 patients within 24 hours. The Health Ministry said more than 1,953,000 patients have already recovered from the disease. However, the active caseload is continuously rising in the country due to a sudden spike in cases reported from various states. India has supplied over 5 crore 85 lakh doses of Made in India vaccines to nearly 70 countries till date. Out of the total, nearly 80 lakh doses have been supplied free of cost as grant aid to 35 countries, whereas 1 crore 64 lakh doses have been supplied under the COVAX facility route to around 18 countries. COVAX is a unique global collaboration with more than two-thirds of the countries in the world engaged together in order to ensure equitable supply of COVID vaccines. The Ministry of External Affairs has informed that over 3 crore 39 lakh vaccine doses have also been sent to 15 different countries on commercial basis. India began its vaccine Med-3 to supply COVID vaccine to different nations more than 1.5 months ago.
The first Quad Leaders Summit will be held virtually today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of Australia Scott Morrison, Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga and US President Joseph R. Biden will participate in the first Leaders Summit of the Quadrilateral Framework. The leaders will discuss regional and global issues of shared interest and exchange views on practical areas of cooperation towards maintaining a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. The summit will provide an opportunity to exchange views on contemporary challenges such as resilient supply chains, emerging and critical technologies, maritime security and climate change. The leaders will also discuss ongoing efforts to combat COVID-19 pandemic and explore opportunities for collaboration in ensuring safe, equitable and affordable vaccines in the Indo-Pacific region. Ahead of the Quad Leaders Summit today, Australia Prime Minister Scott Morrison has said the first meeting of the leaders of Quad countries would discuss security challenges across the Indo-Pacific, climate change and efforts to contain the spread of COVID-19 in the region. Talking to reporters in Sydney, Prime Minister Morrison said there have been many other meetings, but when governments come together at the highest level, this shows a whole new level of cooperation to create a new anchor for peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific.
The first meeting of the BRICS Contact Group on Economic and Trade Issues, CGETI, was held under India's chairship from the 9th till the 11th of this month. The theme of BRICS this year is BRICS at 15, Intra-BRICS Cooperation for Continuity, Consolidation and Consensus. India presented the calendar of events for BRICS CGETI 2021, which included priority areas for deliverables, schedule and scope of MSME Roundtable Conference, workshop on services statistics and BRICS Trade Fair. In cricket, India and England will look to stamp their supremacy in the T20 format when they square off in the first match of the 5-match series at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad today. England is now holding number 1 position while India is number 2 in world ranking in this shortest format of cricket. Mithali Raj today became the first Indian woman cricketer to score 10,000 runs in international cricket across all formats. Mithali reached the milestone in the ongoing third one-day international ODI against South Africa in Lucknow. Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. In national capital Delhi, there is a possibility of thunderstorm with hail. Jammu will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Srinagar is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Leh and Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. In Gilgit, temperature will hover between 8 and 17 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Temperature will vary from 8 to 14 degrees. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India's achievements are beneficial not only for the country but also for the entire humanity. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav commemorating 75th anniversary of India's independence inaugurated by Prime Minister from Sabarmati Ashram in Gujarat. Several events held across the country to mark the occasion. In Tamil Nadu, DMK releases a list of 173 candidates for upcoming assembly elections. MK Stalin to contest from Kolattur constituency in Chennai. Process of filing nominations for third phase of assembly elections begin in West Bengal and Assam. Filing of nominations for single phase elections begin in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Prime Ministers of India, Japan, Australia and President of the United States to participate in the first Quad Leaders Summit virtually this evening. The first meeting of the BRICS contact group on economic and trade issues held under India's chairship. Mithali Raj becomes first Indian woman cricketer to score 10,000 runs in international cricket, and India to take on England in first of 5-match 2020 international series at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad today. And in the spirit of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav launched today, we leave you with this memorable song.
साबरमती के संत तूने कर दिया कमाल।